Welcome back, everyone. I'm the Depressed Hero, and this is Langrisser Mobile Apex Season 17. Alright, so continuing the climb. I did have a loss prior to this, and it was because, well, I was mostly outplayed, and also, again, I don't really know all of Andriel's stupid effects. Did you know he gets an act again and a full heal whenever his partner actually gets a kill? I didn't. Alright. In any case, our opponent, we're on the annoying map, the floating courtyard. Our opponent here has a lot of the annoying characters like Jace, Andriel, and so forth. I went ahead and got rid of Isolde first, because I'm not going to deal with that charge-up nonsense. And I don't think there's been any updates in the box. None that I can recall. Actually, I think I don't know if I did it last time or not, but I did swap out the range bow on Namiya, and she now has the AoE gun that does plus attack and plus AoE damage. Though I am still trying to get that plus 15% attack enchant, though, because I have terrible luck. Anyway, they banned my Isolde. Oh yeah, I guess as far as the rest of the box, 2 tanks, 2 healers? Yeah, 2 tanks, 2 healers, but then there's a bunch of stuff that helps with rush. We got S17 with Act Again, we got Jace who can go across the map. We have Kelmo who does portals. We have the Awakened one who can swap and teleport. And we got Polio who of course can just lay the railroad tracks for everyone else. And then Andriel is just a pain. And then a lot of these characters do have some sort of move again, act again type mechanic, so they can cover the ground pretty quickly. Alright, onwards. They grab Rosen Seal first. So I was like, alright, get rid of Jace, get rid of Andriel, and at this point I'm kind of breathing somewhat of a sigh of relief. I do go ahead and grab Sylvaria, since at this point AoE is not... I mean, there's definitely a lot of AoE still here, but it's not like the primary focus. So I felt like I didn't need to worry about things like Rosen Seal right now. Speaking of, I do lose Rosen Seal and lose Eshian at this point. They grab their Eshian. It's been a while since we've fought an Eshian. Get rid of SP Bernhardt, get rid of Polyol. Mostly just a lot of the physical damage. Not much else to say about that. Go ahead and grab Liana at this point. I did still have 3 healers, but I wanted to get my act again, so I can use Sylvaria here. Against Eshian, I felt pretty confident that I'll be able to get killed because of snipers versus flyers. They go ahead and get rid of Tatalia, get rid of the Awakened one. They grab Lightbringer. So they do have a tank. I go ahead and get rid of his, was it Asmodai? And I get rid of Sword and Light and Shadow. So the rest of this is not too bad. Namiya can be kind of annoying since I don't have Rosen Seal, but she's also pretty squishy. I grab my Namiya. Out of my choices for DPS, that was kind of really the only one. I could have grabbed Joe Akani, but I felt a lot more comfortable with Namiya. Joe and Connie would have been kind of difficult with the extra character, kind of trying to fit them into the tighter formations here. Then Namiya can just at least put out terrain, and even though there's Rosen Seal who's going to cancel the status effects and do passive healing, as long as I do a little bit of damage every once in a while, that does help out Sylvaria. Alright, the Awakened one, and at this point I go ahead and get rid of Namiya and Auden Kelmo. I go ahead and grab Christiane. I was tempted to grab Hilda here, because that would give me options to use Florentia. But Hilda is not very good against magic, and I'm kind of concerned about getting just blasted by the Awakened one. Eshian can be kind of dangerous against Christiane, because I'm going to be probably using Angels. But as long as I don't get stunned, I should be okay. So they go ahead and get rid of my remaining tanks, and leave me with my 2 remaining healers, both of them with Act Agains. They grab their Liana, so they have an Act Again. So I go ahead and grab Sissy White here. Alright, we got Liana here with Act Again, Prayer, and Summon Sky Archers of Shrine Maidens. She is Mage class, so Twilight Star is good to go. We got Lightbringer here, who did bring Holy Shield Bash, Light Flow, and Devity's Glow. Does have Phalanxes. Eshian here, standard kit with Star Prismas. She does look like she has probably a badge equipped right now, so it's possible that she can be immune to fixed damage right now. Resin Seal, all heals all the time. Is Mage class with Shrine Maiden, so Twilight Star is good to go. Neither one of these characters have the heal after fixed damage helmet, so we're good to go on that front as well. Awakened one with Poison Bat Mages did go single target, and then of course 3C and Dimensional Shift. As for us, standard kit Sylvaria, nothing really to say with Deck Gunners. Namiya, Fairy Spirit Prophets, and the rest of the stuff is the same. Christiane, as I mentioned, I went ahead and brought Angels, and the rest of hers is her standard kit. Sissy White, I did go ahead and go with Mass Heal, because I was not sure about the whole AoEs that were going to come my way. Because, you know, Awakened one could have very easily brought 3C and Dark Hole, and then just back-to-back Act Agains with Liana and Eshian there. Oh, and Windbloom Chanters for cooldown reduction. We got Liana here with some Windbloom Chanters, and then Act Again with 3C. Alright, so key thing here is, of course, seeing how far my opponent goes forward. I do have 9 range with Sylvaria, so I can go all the way to here technically and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So right now I could go set up for Awaken 1, but she hasn't acted yet. Speaking of, she just acted. So Dimensional Shift, I'm assuming she's just cycling stuff. Spellbound, so my range is just shortened by a tile. Did get a Breeze proc, but just hangs out. So now I can only go to here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so to here. It's essentially my range. Alright. So just shuffling forward. Key thing, of course, to note is Eshian can move about 8 tiles, 9 if she has enough of her Radiance. Thanks to the swap, she's even further away now, so there's not really any danger. And she doesn't have anything like... She doesn't... her only attack is 1 range, so I'm pretty safe as far as gradually shuffling forward here. I choose not to put out the train because there's no point. I don't really need the extra buffs yet. All right, just shuffling forward. All right, so Eshian is currently in range. And key thing to note about Liana is Liana cannot get in range to actually do Act Again. Originally I thought I made a mistake, but yeah, she can't get in range, so I can actually snipe Eshian. She does have self-res, but self-res can only trigger once. Yeah, as long as she has any stacks of Radiance, she can self-res. Where is it? Yeah, it's right here. But after that, it never triggers again for the battle. And resetting her Radiance is always good, because it ensures she can't get a stun off. Yeah, tight formation did bring... So, Liana does have the exclusive armor. The exclusive armor does make it so she can get... her Sky Archers do get Prayer, which is actually pretty useful. One thing to note is, at least according to recent things about the Chinese server, Liana is going to get an inscription eventually, and her inscription will make it so her Act Again is 3 range, which is pretty nice. It also makes it so she gives immunity to those she Act Again, which is pretty cool. Alright, so immune to fixed damage, as predicted. But even with, I'm presuming she has Last Rites, even with Last Rites, with a crit I was able to get kill. If it wasn't a crit, there's a chance I could have failed to get kill there. Yeah, there's a chance I probably could have failed it. But as long as I get the crit, I'm good to go. Alright, healing up. Alright. So, Gonna go ahead and shuffle forward and do a little bit of extra damage. Main focus is just getting rid of the Eshian at this point. Alright, and then I shuffle back. Also, is to get all this fancy terrain. So yeah, okay damage, nothing too serious. I could have moved here and did hit like an additional target, but I wanted to make sure I can get back into guard range. Alright, at this point I go ahead and apply 3C. This is just to make sure I don't get stunned eventually. Alright, prayer. Oh yeah, what did she opt not to bring? Summon Sky Archer, Prayer, and Act Again. Okay, she didn't bring 3C or Gospel. Let's see, I'm just seeing what else is going on here. Yeah, I didn't really talk about the faction buffs at all. Lightbringer can only buff herself, and there are no buffs for anyone else. Ashian, of course, can give some buffs using her fancy little talent ability. In most cases, it'll just be an attack buff, but she could make it do, I think, a little bit of defense if she does the Blessing of Sebrick. Awaken one, of course, can buff herself, so nothing too fancy. It's a little awkward right now because I have to stay within 2 range of Christiane here. So I'm just trying to shuffle as best as I can. It does limit my options as far as like setting up for a snipe. That was kind of a lot of my hesitation in this round, was just trying to see if I can get another snipe in, because I did have another act again with Sissy White there. But the way they were moving, it was way too risky, so I just played it safe. That being said, I still shift forward. Right now, Liana is 9 range away. And I get hit with some Rainbow Sparkle here. Yeah, as you can see, completely immune to fixed damage, and she has matching troops. I did proc my armor, which is nice. Does pretty good damage. I did have angels for the front, so... if the intention was to go after Christiane, she should have at least been a step backwards, I think. Yeah, if she was a step backwards, she would have done at least an additional... It would have done 15% increased soldier damage, which would have helped a little bit. But since she didn't get killed, she doesn't get to retreat, so she's just stuck there, so I just go ahead and take my kill here. She's not at full health, so last rites doesn't matter. What was that damage? Hold on a second. Yeah, that's a little overkill. Alright. And then just throw out some more terrain. Alright. 3C on everybody. This just throws out a lot of debuffs. It doesn't really do much damage, because it's spreading all the damage out. Get a spellbound on me. She did try to put it on Liana there, but Liana currently has immunity because she did 3C earlier. So kind of good to go there. So at this point I go ahead and take my kill where I can get it. The debuff that's on Sylvaria right now is minus 20% damage, but I get plus 20% damage anyway, so it kind of evens out. Alright, no more act agains. What's kind of nice is, even though I killed Liana there, Liana's turns is still available with the Sky Archers, so it doesn't really matter since I have more troops, but I can mess around with initiative. Alright. Mostly just throwing out the heals here just to kind of cycle some cycle some cooldowns and help with the purging of debuffs. There you go. Good to go. And I go ahead and just stay in place, because if I move anywhere, it's just going to expose somebody. Alright, gonna get hit with single target, Doom Oracle. I'm at nearly full health with Angels, so it has 0 chance of piercing. And the bats can't do any debuffs, because I'm currently immune. So once that attack happened, I was kind of okay with just moving up. Technically, Lightbringer can move down and attack Liana, but Liana at full health should be okay against this. Yeah, especially with Phalanxes. Phalanxes don't do much damage. Yep, a lot of immunity to fixed damage there. So unfortunately, Silvaria's not doing any extra damage. Neither is the terrain. That being said, I still go ahead and do some damage here and spread some terrain out. Holy Shield Bash. They have 11,000 damage back. Yeah, Phalanxes can't resist magic at all. Alright, Lightbringer's not immune to fixed damage, good to know. Of course the fairy isn't. Alright, act again. So I make some mistakes here. My intention here was to move up with Silvaria and then shoot Awaken one, but as mentioned in previous videos, I don't have the range bow anymore, so I actually couldn't do anything with this. So it didn't go as planned, unfortunately. So I go ahead and just shuffle up and kind of just get set up, which I'm okay with. And then I go ahead and do a Desperate Measure here. Go ahead and get Namiya up and running. And then I'm just seeing what... Alright, Liana's okay, she's not any risk. Right now, Awaken 1 is got Dimensional Shift, and that's it, so... No real dangers here. I do Summon Cavalry, just to see if I can, I was gonna see if I can knock her away a little bit, but that didn't happen. But it does get some debuffs, knocking off some of the crystal barriers here. So I shuffle forward, Coral Volley, and get kill. My opponent did say thank you at this point, which I'm not sure if it was sarcastic or not. I mean, technically this does reset her cooldowns, but she also now debuffed. Yeah, so really, yeah, she can't do any swapping because no one had any spellbounds. She can put spellbound out, which with her faction buff does increase her damage. I think like by 12% or something like that. 8%. And with her 3C, she could make it so it only hits 2 targets, where it just hits Silvaria and Christiane. But at full HP, Silvaria can take it, and she could especially take it because she has Floral Regalia active right now, which reduces AoE by 35%. And then Christiane, of course, reduces it even further because of her aura. So yeah, not really in any danger here. So 3C centered on Silvaria, so it only hits Christiane and Silvaria. As you can see, the damage is practically nothing. Ah, not fixed damage beam. Good to know. So I'll go ahead and just start shuffling forward. I have taken the center at this point. Alright, she shifts up, which is no surprise there. I could have attempted to go for kill with Silvaria or even Namiya. You know, going after Awaken one, but I didn't want to get counter killed. So I was kind of playing it safe here. And I'm currently 5 spaces away from Rose and Seal at the moment. Currently, let's see, renders. Yeah, the closer the enemy is, the more it reduces the damage. So, what was it? 8, 7, 6, 5. So it reduces damage by about 20. It probably reduces damage by about 20%, which is not the end of the world. So 20% damage reduction, I go ahead and go for the shot here. So at this point, their only healer now is that fairy, which I've been ignoring. I've been tempted to kill it again and again, but I just ended up not going for it. And since the only thing, 3C is on cooldown on the Awakened one, so she can't do that again. She's already applied her Spellbound, she's already done her swap. All she had was a single target attack, which would be soaked by Christiane, and after 3 rounds, she would just die. So yeah, there was pretty much nothing my opponent could do at that point. But yeah, 2 kills each, not too bad. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. I am the Depressed Dior. This was Langrisser Mobile Apex Season 17. I'll see you guys next time.